later this month, the biggest exercise in the world, where more than 40 allies and partners will practice defending against a broad range of different cyber attacks. Our hosts, Italy and the United States, are both excellent examples of strong cyber defenses. Earlier this year, President Biden signed legislation to track cyber attacks and ransomware payments across America, so authorities can rapidly deploy resources to help those being attacked, spot trends, and warn other potential victims. And in May, Italy published its new national cybersecurity strategy, accompanied by several different initiatives, such as the establishment of the National Cybersecurity Agency and the development of the Italian cloud strategy. Examples of how allies take this very seriously. These and many similar initiatives across the whole alliance are making our nations stronger and more resilient to cyber attacks. NATO is a unique platform where allies share information, highlight concerns, exchange best practices, structure, while NATO staff went to Tirana and provided support. Albania and other allies attributed this attack to Iran. This is an example of how NATO allies are coming together and responding with one voice. NATO also works closely with the European Union on cyber issues. Our cyber defenders share information about cyber threats and take part in each other exercises, including NATO's cyber coalition. We also work closely with partner nations such as Ukraine and Georgia, with our Indo-Pacific partners Japan, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand. And we also work closely with private companies which have played a key role in defending Ukrainian cyberspace. Starlink satellites enable secure communications and internet access. Microsoft and Amazon were able to upload Ukraine's government ministries to the cloud just as its servers were being targeted by Russian shelling. YouTube and social media companies have blocked or restricted Russian state media and troll accounts. Cooperation between governments and tech companies has increased significantly. For instance, NATO and Microsoft exchange information to mitigate the effects of malware attacks on allies and on Ukraine. And we agreed at the Madrid summit in June to take our partnership with industry further, expanding our cooperation to develop online standards and norms of behavior. Cyberspace should not be a Wild West, free for all. All allies agree that fundamental rights and international law apply just as much online as they do offline, and that we need principles of responsible use that reflect our democratic values and human rights. However, our competitors do not share our values and are using new technologies with no regard for human rights or international law. In 1949, President Truman described NATO as a shield against aggression and the fear of aggression. Today, that shield extends to cyberspace. The threat from cyberspace is real and it is growing. That is why our cyber defense pledge is so important. So I call on allies to recommit to cyber defense with more investment, more expertise, and enhanced cooperation. This is a vital part of our collective defense, and we are all in this together. So I wish you all the best for your discussions today. Your work here matters for the safety and the security of our 1 billion citizens across Europe and North America. So once again, thank you so much for having me here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. I couldn't think, thank you for this affresco, as we will call it in Italian, a bit like a Sistine Chapel of an intervention.
Across the board. That's a good configuration to be in and a good poll.
5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yes. NSC, verify spacecraft is configured for launch.
This is NSC. Spacecraft is configured for launch.
So that's another great, right there, poll to hear from the NSC, NASA spacecraft.
All steps are complete prior to the terminal count.
That the spacecraft is configured for launch, getting ready to proceed into terminal count at T-4 when the L clock and the T clock sync up. So very happy to get to this point. Very excited that the team was able to work through their issues this morning or this evening and into the morning and get us to this point, Daryl. This is what it's all about, teamwork in getting a rocket launched with important payload for the United States.